Hello, sports fans and baseball fans out there. It's me, Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, and I am here with another game for you. Baseball game this time, and this time it's going to be Digital Diamond Baseball. I'm taking two teams from 1980. The Kansas City Royals will be at home versus the 1980 California Angels. Now, if you recall, 1980, I believe, was a year that George Brett hit .390. Now, according to this right here, the computer will manage California, and I will manage Kansas City. It always seems like that's not what happens when I get into the game, but we'll see if that's what happens. We're going to go to the lineups. You can see the starting pitchers for today. The computer has taken Frank Tanana, and I am going to take Paul Splittorff, two lefties going up against each other. And we will get the thing going here. So, see, this is giving me the California lineup, which I should have nothing to do with. But whatever, we're just going to do it. We're going to say play ball. I don't get it. If somebody can tell me. But anyway, I am going to, I guess I am controlling Kansas City because it is asking me to pitch, and Splittorff is out there on the mound, and he's going to pitch to Bobby Grich to lead it off. So we'll see what this roll comes up as. And he is out. So we will... I have to get used to looking at this board and seeing what's going on here. So anyway, we will pitch to Don Baylor. Don Baylor digs in, rolling in the swing, and he is a dribbler out in front of the catcher. Wathen bare hands it, and he throws to Akins for the out. So there's two down quickly, and Rod Carew, very good hitter in his own right. And that is going to be it. So I think we're up with UL Washington leading off. So California got nothing in the first. You don't know that because I don't know where the scoreboard is. There it is. All right, the scoreboard is up here. California got nothing in the first. See, this is what happens when you don't play a game for a long time. So I'm going to swing away with UL Washington. Looks like he's going to strike out, which will bring up some dude named Deatheridge. I have no idea who he is, but we will let him hit. And again, I go with computer lineup. It's not, especially with a game that I haven't played in a while, it isn't worth it for me to try to get in there and figure out how to make the lineup. So I just don't do it. I let the computer do it. And we've got Willie Wilson, the main man, Willie Wilson, swinging away. And he's going to be out, and so we are back in the field. Splittorff is going to be dealing to Carney Lansford. And Carney Lansford is going to get a home. Is he going to get a home run? He's going to get a home run. Come on. Come on, Splittorff. All right, well, we're going to pitch to Dan Ford. Hopefully he doesn't follow suit with his own homer. That is an out. So Bert Campaneris is up. There is one out, and we will see what happens with him. He's going to hit a triple? Oh, Deatheridge. Yeah, I don't even know if Deatheridge was able to make that play. Probably not. So we got a man 90 feet away, and we're going to deal to Joe Rudy. Joe Rudy, formerly of the A's, and he is out, but it looks like the run came in, and California takes a 2-0 lead on us. And we are going to deal to Rick Miller. Rick Miller, who spent some significant time in the Red Sox organization, and he's out, and here's our man, George Brett. So George Brett should have a really good chance of getting on. He did hit 390 that year, but no, he's out. Gritch is going to throw him out. So there's one down, and Hal McRae is the batter. I think did we get a guy on? I don't even remember if we got a guy on. That's going to be a single, though. Hal McRae is aboard. Now, we know that now, so we do know we do have a guy on. And here is John Wathen, the catcher. And he's going to hit a single. So with one out, we have runners at first and second. And Clint Hurdle, the right fielder, is up. We got a bad corner outfielders with Dethridge and Clint Hurdle. And he was out. And that brings up Dave Chalk. If you're a child of the 70s, you remember Dave Chalk, and you remember that he got out a lot, like that right there. So we have nothing to show for our efforts in the second, and we're going to the top of the third, where we will keep Splittorff out there for the moment, again, because I really have an issue with trying to figure out how to get somebody into the game. So we're just going to, it's going to be end of the game or bust for him. Anyway, there is an out, and that brings up Bobby Gritch. Bobby Gritch, the second baseman, and that's going to be an out, and it's good to see that Splittorff is pitching well so that he can justify my not having to try to figure out how to get somebody into the game. So, we're back at bat here in the bottom of the third. Down 2-0, and with Willie Aikens up. Willie Mays Aikens, and he's going to be out. He's out to Gritch. Gritch is a busy man today. Which will bring the top of the order back to the plate with UL Washington. UL Washington's going to hit a double. And now we have Mr. Dethridge up. Hopefully he was somewhat decent. He's going to hit a single. Does that score Washington? No, it does not. So we hold him at third, and there are runners at the corners with one down, and Willie Wilson, my friends, strikes out, but that brings up George Brett. Let's see if they walk him. They do not appear to be willing to walk him. That's going to be a single, and it'll score a run for us. Single to center field. Would you like the runner to attempt an extra base? No, not at less than 50%, I don't. So we've got Brett at first and Dethridge at second with Hal McRae up, and we're only losing 2-1 now. And that's going to be a single. Let's see if Dethridge can score on that. 67% almost chance. I'm going to say yes. And did he score? He did. It worked. My gamble paid off. And so that'll bring John Wathen to the plate. The catcher, still there's 2 outs, but there are runners at the corners. And let's see what he can do. He can hit a single. So 83% chance and 2 outs. I'm going to definitely do it. Looks like we made it too. And we did. So we got a 3-run. Well, there might have been a guy at third. I don't remember. But anyway, we do have a 3-2 lead now with 2 down. Runners are at the corners, and Clint Hurdle is the batter. And Clint Hurdle's going to hit a single. And you got to wonder, are they going to take, are they going to take Tanana out of there because he's getting jacked? No, we are not going to try to take an extra base at not even 30%. We're going to let Dave Chalk try to get a base hit here. I know, and it's going to work. And 80%? Yeah, I'm going to go for 80%. And we score, yes, we've got a 5 spot up. We are taking it to the Angels with Willie Aikens at the plate. This is, Tanana is not long for this game, I don't think. So we have a 5-2 lead now. Let's hope that Splittorff can hold that as he deals to Carew, leading off the top of the fourth inning here. And he's going to strike him out. Brings up Carney Lansford with one down. And that is going to be a single. So base hit for Carney Lansford with Dan Ford at the plate. And that is going to be what? I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. But there's 2 outs. That's all I know is there's nobody on and 2 outs. And now Dan Ford is at the plate. Maybe he tried to steal. That might have been what happened, and he wasn't successful. So UL Washington, we're back at the top of the order here. And Frank Tanana is still out there for some reason. And UL Washington... let's see. Well, anyway. He's going to hit a single. And that brings up our man Deathridge. Now, Deathridge, actually, in real life, he hit 308, so he should be pretty good. You've got the main man. That's going to be a single. And we're going to have runners at first and second with nobody down. And we're getting in the good part of the lineup with Willie Wilson. Willie Wilson, who hit 326 and had a 357 on base percentage, but he struck out for the first out this inning. But that brings up our man, George Brett, who hit 390 with a 454 on base percentage. And he's going to strike out. Are you kidding me? All right, so 2 on and 2 down. And we are going to have Hal McRae. Hal McRae, who hit 297. And he's going to have a single here. And that's another run for us. So we are opening it up here. Kansas City opening up an ass whooping on Tanana with Wathen up. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think it's up to the computer to take Tanana out, and he's not doing it. So for whatever reason, I applaud him on that decision. We're going to the top of the fifth. We have a 6-2 lead over California. They took a lead on us in the second inning, but we came back and took the lead back from them in the third inning, and now Splittorff is back out to the mound. Shouldn't be a problem getting him through the game now because we're hitting everything in sight, and Splittorff is pitching quite well. Joe Rudy is up with 1 down here for California. And let's see what he can get. He can get a double, so he's on second base. Joe Rudy down at second with 1 down. And Rick Miller is the batter. Rick Miller hit 274 that year, but he's going to be out. And that will bring to the plate Tom Donahue, who hit only 188. So that's part of the California problem here. And he is going to be out. Splittorff gets out of the inning, and Clint Hurdle is going to be up for us here in the bottom of the fifth as we lead at 6-2. And he is going to swing away. And why not? And he gets a single. I mean, we're hitting everything. And Tanana just turned white. Oh, it was probably past Tanana. So he's probably more than white out there. He's probably yellow and red and ready to come out. But the computer isn't doing it. The computer's not having it. That's an out, so there's 1 down with a man at first. And Willie Aikens is up. And that's going to be a single. Single to center field. Miller plays it back in, and finally California decides they've seen enough of Tanana, and they're going to bring out Dave LaRoche, the LaLob man. And we are going to have UL Washington batting with one down. And that's going to be another single. I mean, we are schooling California. I had no idea California was really this bad in 1980. Didn't seem like they were. And Deathridge is up. And Deathridge is out. So now there's two down. We don't have a run in yet, but we have Willie Wilson at the plate, who was a very good hitter in 1980, and he's out. So Bobby Grich will be the batter for California here in the top of the sixth. We still got Splittorff going strong. At least in my opinion, he's going strong. We'll see what that roll comes up as. It's an out. You know, I am being able to interpret what's going on a little better now than I have been in the past. If you watch my digital diamonds in the past, I haven't been good at figuring out at times what the computer was doing or what happened. But it seems like I'm on top of it this game, which is good. And that's going to be an out, and we should be batting, and we are. And we're leading off with our man 390 hitting George Brett. LaRoche is still out there for the Angels. We're going to swing away, of course, with a 390 man, and he's going to hit a double. And he's down at second with Hal McRae up. And really, you don't sacrifice with any of these guys because they're all good hitters, but McRae does strike out. So there's one down. Could have made that a productive out, maybe with a sacrifice, but I didn't want to do it. And that will bring to the plate John Wathan. And we might as well let him hit away. Once you got an out, especially, I mean, I don't like sacrificing at all, really. But once you've got an out, you definitely don't do it. So there's two down, and Clint Hurdle is the batter. And Clint Hurdle's going to hit a single. The question is Brett going to come home on that? 99.3% chance, I'm going for that. Big time. And he does score. And we get another run, and it is 7-2, us. And Dave Chalk is the batter. This was a great Kansas City team, let me tell you. But we're out for the third out of the inning. We're going back into the field. I'm sending Splittorff back out there in the top of the seventh with Carney Lansford up, and we will pitch to him. Lansford hit only .261 this particular year. Not a good year for him, but he jacks one. Is that a home run? It is. He jacks it out. So they get another run. They get on the board with a third run. So now it is 7-3. Splittorff hopefully not starting to fall apart here. We don't need that. That's going to be an out. And there's one down with Campaneris up. Campaneris, like Rudy, a former A at this point, he's going to hit a single. Now, they can do whatever they want. If they want to steal, they can steal. Whatever. But Joe Rudy is the batter, and he's going to hit a single. So it looks like maybe Splittorff is starting to fall apart. Hopefully not, but that's what it looks like to me, although Miller is out, so that'll be the second out with runners at first and second. And Tom Donahue is the batter, and he isn't good. So let's hope he doesn't get... He gets a triple. Really? Tom Donahue knocks in two more runs for them. All right, I may have to go to the pen. I may have to try to figure that out. But that's going to be an out. And so they get 3 runs there, and it is 7-5, us in the bottom of the 7th. They still have LaRoche out there, it looks like. So I am going to hit away with Willie Aikens. We're going to hope we can get some more runs and just stay ahead of the curve. There's a single by Aikens. And that brings to the plate the top of the order, UL Washington, and he's out. He flies out to Dan Ford, which brings Deathridge up. And Deathridge, of course, 308 hitter, and he's out. And it looks like that might have been a double play. So let's see if we can try to figure out. Oh wait, yes. Let's see if we can try to figure out how to make this change. Let's see. Close. I think there's a thing with bullpen. Isn't there? Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can click on him. Yeah, all right. Looks like that's maybe what I'm supposed to do. And who are we going to bring in? First of all, I think we need to click on... Do we have to click on... We have to click on pitcher. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I have to select somebody. See, this is really where it gets dicey. Let's see. I mean, that's the bullpen. It looks like that's my choices, but those are all starters, all of those guys. And there's only 5 entries, so we're going to bring in... See, these are all rotation. You know what? I'm going to bring in Busby, and I'm going to say that we want him to be the pitcher. And let's hope that that worked. And yes, it did. It did work. I've got Busby out there. Okay, we figured it out. He'll be dealing to Don Baylor here in the top of the 8th. California is within catching distance. It's only 7-5, but he is out. He'll ground out to Chalk, and we will deal to Carew. And Carew is going to be out. So we got the first 2 guys out, and Carney Lansford is up. Carney Lansford later on, I think, maybe would go to the A's. But he strikes out here. And we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Got Willie Wilson up. Willie Wilson will be followed by George Brett. And then I believe Willie Aikens. And that's going to be a single for Willie Wilson. He singles to left field. And let's even try to steal here. They bring in Mark Clear. Mark Clear is going to come in, and I'm going to try to steal second base. And he didn't get the lead, so that isn't going to happen. We got George Brett batting, and he's going to be out. But he does move Wilson over to second, which is good. We got a man at second with 1 down and Hal McRae up. Hal McRae, not Willie Aikens. But he's out. And that brings up John Waffen. And John Waffen will swing away. 95.3% chance, and we're only ahead by 2. I'm going to try it. And it works. And so now we have an 8-5 lead on California with Clint Hurdle up. And Clint Hurdle's going to walk. So we got 2 guys on with 2 away. And Dave Chalk is the batter. And he's out. So Busby just has to stop them from getting 3 runs, and we win. And we are going to deal. Dealing to Ford, and that is going to be... No, the pinch hitter for Ford is going to be Larry Harlow. So Larry Harlow is pinch hitting. Let's see what he can do. He's going to hit a single. Single to center field. Harlow is aboard, which brings up Bergkamp and Aris. But that'll be an out. Joe Rudy is up with 1 down and a man at first. California down by 3. And that's going to be an out. And finally, it's up to Rick Miller for California. And he is going to be out. So Kansas City hangs on and they win this game by the score of 8-5. Let's see if we can go get the box score. Yes, we can. So here is California, what they did. Here's what their batters did. Held the first 3 batters to no hits. And then our batters were quite good. Lots of hits up there. Tanana went 4 1/3, and he gave up 14 hits and 5 earned runs and 6 runs overall. Wow. For us, Splittorff went 7, and he allowed 5 runs, so he wasn't really good either. But Busby came in and shut it down. And that will be it for me. Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.